I'm just like, at what point did you stop and say, maybe this shouldn't be like this? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 141st episode of Don't Forget the Popcorn. Thank you for being here. I know it's not October yet, but guess what? I don't care. It's time to get spooky, baby. So in my last video, I did more of a theme review on the 2025 movie Together, and I'm going to do something similar again here today. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to turn this off, go watch the movie, and come back here and hear what I gotta say. Because when this is over, I think you will fully agree with me on this, what I'm talking about today. Today, we are going to be talking about the 1982 horror classic Poltergeist, directed by Tobe Hooper. But let's be real, I think Steven Spielberg had a big hand in how this all went down, but whatever. So do me a huge solid, like and subscribe for a guy. It helps me out a lot. And I will forever be indebted to you. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ralph Vader. It's linked below. Now, let's talk about this movie. So, you probably saw the title, okay, and which is probably why you clicked on this video, and I appreciate it if you did. Now, why I'm saying this is the most infuriating movie ever, why this movie frustrated me to my core, I watched this movie the other night, and I was captivated. Now, I've seen this before, but it had been a little bit, and for some reason, I forgot so many of the significant scenes, and I just don't know why. But first things first, before I even get into anything about this movie is absolutely amazing. I think it's a great horror film. It's probably the scariest PG rated movie maybe ever. This movie was pretty nutty. But I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. Sure, we'll get into that as we, go through and discuss what I'm here to talk about. But what infuriated me about this movie and had me seething is the parents of this film. And I know I am not the only person who has watched this film and felt that these may be the worst parents of all time. Now, in this movie, like I said, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly suggest that you click this off and watch it later, because I will be spoiling the hell out of this thing. Now, in this movie, man, let's talk about this. So these parents here, we got Diane and Steve, okay? And Diane and Steve, suburban parents. I think we're in an LA suburb. Yeah, we're in an LA suburb here. We got the picket white fence, the perfect family. We got the two daughters, the son. We got beautiful mom, played by Jo Beth Williams. She is gorgeous in this movie. And Craig T. Nelson plays the dad in a much younger role. Two actors who've gone on to have big careers. And we got the three kids. Dad's got a good job. Mom stays at home. I mean, what more could you ask for? This is absolutely perfect. But what we don't realize here is that the house that this family lives on is built on a burial ground, an old graveyard or whatever, and there was bodies under here. So this effing place is cursed. It's haunted. It's all that. And man, one thing about this movie that's absolutely amazing is this movie just jumps right into it. You get like 10, 12 minutes of them showing you, who everyone is, who the kids are. We got Carol Ann and Robbie and Dana. Unfortunately, Heather O'Rourke and Dominique Dune, who play Carol Ann and Dana, the two daughters in here, died very shortly after this movie came out. And that's really creepy and scary, but it's really sad. But man, that's a little crazy. But you got these kids, you got these parents, and what more could you ask for? Well, this house, as nice as it is, I mean, it's a lovely house. It's, especially for the times, 1982. I mean, it's beautiful. Anyone would love to live in a house like this. Hell, I'd love to live in a house like this now. But this house, man, it's got its problems. It does. And there's all kinds of things going on here that should tell these parents that something is wrong. First of all, you got this weird tree outside that doesn't look like a tree that belongs anywhere. Okay, this tree looks like it belongs in hell. You got this kid climbing this thing, and the tree, man, it's like you got the nubs sticking out, and it just looks dangerous. And the mom sees her son climbing this tree, and she doesn't care. No one cares about anything. That's the crazy part. The mom is very, very whimsical and lackadaisy and kind of lets the kids do their thing. She smokes pot and, she's chill. And, I liked her. I liked her as far as a person goes. But as far as a parent goes, my Lord, she was terrible. So there's all these thunderstorms and lightning storms going on at night. And, this stuff is tied into the supernatural effects here because this movie is a supernatural movie through and through. I mean, we wouldn't get all the paranormal movies and all the other cool supernatural ghost type movies that came after this. We wouldn't get all those. This movie was definitely a foundational block in the genre for that subgenre of it. And I mean, dude, this movie does the supernatural so right. I mean, I cannot sit here and say that I was not taken in fully by what I was seeing here on the screen. I mean, the scene where they first realize that something is wrong is at breakfast when the kids are eating breakfast and all this weird stuff is happening at breakfast. I mean, the son's trying to eat his food and the utensils are bending all weird. And then when the kids all get up and leave, the mom is like, push your chairs in, which you should. You should never leave your chairs stuck out at the table. Pushes the chairs in. You come back later and all the chairs are pushed out. And then you think your little daughter who's sitting on the counter does this all, but she's only like, I don't know, how old is Carol Ann, guys? 3? Like 4? I don't know. Carol Ann is maybe 4 years old, maybe 5. I don't know. I guess she was like 6, 5 or 6. Yeah, okay. I guess Carol Ann was probably like 6, and I guess Robbie was maybe like 8 or 9. But Robbie was cool. Robbie was a huge Star Wars fan, a huge Empire Strikes Back fan. You can see it all over his room. And this movie has a lot of parallels to The Empire Strikes Back, which I will not get into. If you guys want that video, let me know in the comments below, and I will go into and break down how The Poltergeist and Empire Strikes Back are far more similar than you would probably think of. But that's not why we're here. Today, we're talking about how bad these parents are. So, Diane, she comes in the kitchen, right? Now, we already know weird stuff's going on with the tree outside. The tree has a life of its own, and not just because plants are alive. I mean, this tree, it has like a spirit to it, It's drawing the sun in, okay? And not only that, it's just creepy. It's like you got this beautiful house and the tree is just creepy. And all the while, we're building a pool here because, of course, we got to up the property value and build a beautiful pool in this house. A nice in-ground pool. Huge. But the fear of the pool is that one of the kids is going to walk out, fall into the pool with no water in it, and just smack. Or fall into the pool where there is water in it and drown. I mean, either one. But the house is haunted as F. And when they go back into the kitchen, Carol Ann and Diane, dude, the chairs, they're all stacked up in this like kind of like pyramid on top of the table. And I mean, the way this is edited is absolutely brilliant. It's a brilliantly edited. I mean, you couldn't ask for better editing in this movie. Dude, you're just like, what the hell? It grabs you, man, and it kind of smacks you in the face. And then you're like, okay, logical thing. I'm getting the F out of this house. Now I understand that this house is new, and I understand the house is new. I understand these people probably spent a lot of money on this house. I understand this is a nice house. This house means a lot to these people. This is more than just a house. This is a status symbol. The neighborhood it's in, the tax bracket you have to be in to afford it, all of that. I mean, of course, there's all these types of things that go into real estate and where and what you choose to live in. But God damn it, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it was me, and I was experiencing the things that these people were experiencing, I would be scared. But not Diane, not our mother. She thinks the stuff is actually freaking cool. She's like, hey guys, let's just go ahead and play around with the spirits a little bit. Let's go ahead and let these spirits grab me and take me and all that. And listen, I think this is very cool in a movie, which is why we're talking about movies. This is a movie channel. We have fun here. But let me tell you something right now. If this was me and I walked out my kitchen for 2 seconds and walked back in and all the chairs were stacked up like that, yeah, I'm getting me, my kids, and we're getting the F out this house immediately. Not Diane. Not Diane. Diane said, "Oh, what? This is cool. Let's play around." So Diane and Carol Ann, they just play around with the spirits. They're in the kitchen, literally, just kind of figuring out what these spirits react to. And they're moving things around and they're having fun with it. And Diane's getting excited. And I'm just like, at what point did you stop and say, maybe this shouldn't be like this? I don't know. Diane is, they say she, in the movie, I think they say she's 32 years old or 33. I think they say that. And you're 33 years of life, which is a good enough amount of time for you to have seen a lot of things. When the hell have you ever seen chairs and objects and even people just start to move on their own? That didn't seem weird to you? I mean, she literally puts her daughter on the floor, puts a football helmet on her, and shows her husband how the spirits have slid her daughter from one end of the kitchen to the next. It was like a magic trick. And the dad catches her. And the dad's just like, he's a little skeeved, but he ain't freaked out enough for me. Because if it was me, I'd be like, baby, when did you become a damn magician? I didn't know you had this talent. We've been married for, their daughter's like, I think their daughter's like 16. So I'm like, your daughter's 16 and okay, so we've been together this whole time. And not once did I know you had these powers and talents. I'd be like, honey, this is strange. This is not cool. And he doesn't seem to think it's cool, but he also doesn't really care or do anything about it. So I'm like, all right, we got this weird thing going on in the house and no one thinks this is weird. So we're just going to go about our time and our days and just, keep living like everything's all good. Even though if you ask me, I'm out of this piece. But that's not it, man. So of course, things have to escalate. We have the night. The old faithful night where it's storming, it's raining crazy, everything's crazy. There's this whole theme about the dad teaching the kids how to count where the thunder's gonna hit versus when the lightning's gonna strike versus when the thunder hits and all this stuff. These kids are in their room chilling. And guess what? Their room is haunted as hell and everything goes crazy. That scary ass tree that's hanging out outside that I said should have been immediately cut down. Yeah, that thing grabs the son, pulls his ass all the way outside. And then I'm like, oh man, this kid's about to get Evil Deaded out here. He's in a tree all effed up. Carol Ann's left in the room screaming. The room is going crazy. Now, of course, the parents run out to save the kids, yada, yada, yada. So we're all focused on this kid in the tree. Okay, but who's watching Carol Ann? Now, this is where these parents suck. Okay, this weird phenomena is going on. All this weird stuff has been going on for the past 24, 48 hours, however long. And you guys don't think to keep these kids clutched to your side? They just leave Carol Ann's little ass up in the room all alone with nobody to help her. And she's the youngest, smallest, and probably the one that's most frightened. And they just leave her in there. Not grab her and bring her with. Not, have one parent watch while the other parent checks on the other one. None of that. Or even have the oldest daughter watch her. Nope. They just leave her in the room as her closet busts open and starts literally sucking everything in the damn room into that closet. Everything. There's a creepy ass clown in there with some long ass arms, and he is scary. And I'm like, whoa, that dude would not be sitting in my room in the corner in a chair. You best believe. And if you've seen Scary Movie 2, they parody this movie, and it's absolutely hilarious what they do with the clown and stuff. It's so goofy, but I couldn't help but think of that when I saw that scene. And they're sucking all these things in, right? And Carol Ann, as strong and as hard as she fought, hanging on that bed, trying not to get sucked in, Of course, she gets sucked in. And the whole movie is spent trying to get Carol Ann out of essentially this world of these ghosts and spirits and get her back into the real world. Now, the movie is absolutely brilliant from this point on in how we're trying to save Carol Ann. But I know we wouldn't have a movie if the parents were a little smarter, but man, these parents suck, and it's their fault Carol Ann got sucked in. You didn't listen to the house when it was basically telling you to get out, and then you didn't even watch the damn girl as all this crazy stuff is happening. It's amazing to me. And Carol Ann's now gone, and actually Carol Ann is one of the best characters in this movie. She's creepy, but she's adorable at the same time, you know. It's like she's a cool little girl. She's pretty tough, you know. Carol Ann, you can't help but love her. And the whole time we're looking for Carol Ann, and we're like, oh man, Carol Ann's gone, so now we're all sad and depressed. These parents' lives have been flipped upside down. The dad hasn't been to work, the mom's a wreck. They just want to find Carol Ann. So of course, you do what you do and you hire mediums and people who deal with the supernatural to come and try and figure out what's going on in your house. We've seen this in countless movies. Look at the Conjuring films, you know. We've seen this all over throughout in films after this and even before this. But this movie does it one of the best. But we're not here to talk about all that. I'm here to tell you why these parents are bad. So, what do? We still have 2 kids, right? We still have 2 kids left. We have Robbie and Dana. Instead of, I don't know, getting a hotel and being away from the house, sending the kids away with the grandparents sooner, because they do discuss that. They do discuss sending the other kids away with the grandparents. And at some point, Dana does go and stay with a friend, I believe. But no, we don't get out of the house immediately. We don't try and at least get the other kids out so our other kids will be safe. No, we're going to continue to stay in this house, and we're just going to try and figure it all out while we live in here, clearly with some supernatural crazy shit that don't want us around. But we're just going to keep our other young kids here, and that's all good because we are great parents, and we didn't learn anything from Carol Ann getting essentially kidnapped in the last 2-3 days. It's been like a month plus. And these folks still staying in this house. And granted, I understand they're on a mission. They're trying to get Carol Ann back, and I would be all for it. But we can do this from a distance, right? Do I need to sleep here every night? Do I need to have my other kids here every night? I don't think so. I just don't think so. And my Lord, I just couldn't believe the attachment these people have to the house that they won't get rid of. And then after all of that, after we get Carol Ann back, we go through all this, we hire a cool ass little medium, she's all tiny and cool and slick, and we do all this crazy stuff, and it's super dope. What do we do? Let's move out. But wait, instead of, while we're moving out, not stay at the house, we're gonna stay at this house that's still effing haunted and bring our kids. They almost lost Carol Ann again. After we went through all this to get her back, they almost lost Robbie. My Lord, these parents are terrible. They're chilling in this house after all this crazy stuff happened. The house got flipped upside down. Everything crazy happened. We had all kind of stuff coming through the ceilings. You don't even understand. It's nuts. And we still think it's a good idea. They're chilling here. They even got the kids sleeping in their old room. Like, bro, are you freaking kidding me? Come on, bro. You asked this. I don't feel bad for these parents at all. If all your kids would have got butchered, I wouldn't feel bad for them at all because you don't deserve to be parents. Because any logical parent would have got their kid out of this house, all of them, and never, ever brought them back. Now, if you want to be here and figure out what's going on your own, have fun. Now, they were moving out. In the process of moving out, though, they really didn't think, maybe we should stay at a hotel and come pack a little bit during the day. No, we're going to sleep here. We're going to stay here because we just love this house so much. Man, I was getting mad watching this movie, and the whole ending, I was just like, you asked for this, you asked for this, you asked for this. I do not feel bad for you, and you should have CPS called on you because you're the worst damn parents I've ever seen in my life, okay? And that's all I'm gonna say about it. But everything's okay. We get the kids out, we go stay at a hotel, and then we push the TV out to the balcony because we don't like TVs because TVs are tied into all this, which I didn't get into all this stuff, all this and how it happened and why it happened, because that's not what this video was about. This video was about a great horror movie with absolutely terrible parental figures. Now, to wrap all this up, I just had to go on a rant because come on. You can't tell me, as any of you that are watching that are parents out there that have children and people, homeowners, I want you to comment below and tell me what you would do in this situation, because I understand there's a lot of variables here, money tied up and things like that. But what's more important, lives or investments? I'd have to say lives, because without lives, investments don't matter. But I gotta say, this movie was absolutely fantastic. The practical effects from Tobe Hooper and Steven Spielberg were just amazing. I mean, the actors all bought in. Everything was creepy. It had a vibe to it. This movie is oh my God, it's an absolute staple in 80s horror. It's an absolute staple in horror in general. And like I said before, I'm going to be talking about more horror on this channel, especially for the next month, because, you know, it's a horror time. Now, I will be watching the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and we will have to discuss that. But after that, it is going to be horror time, baby. So, I mean, this movie is effing brilliant. It's brilliant. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. I think it's a film that absolutely goes in with the greats of the horror genre. I couldn't say enough glowing things about it. As mad as this movie made me, as infuriating as it is, as frustrating as it is, I had an absolute amazing time with it. I think it's a horror classic. So, although this isn't an actual review, I'm still going to give this movie a score, and I'm going to give Poltergeist a perfect 10 out of 10. How do you not give it that? It's an incredible masterpiece of a horror film, and without it, we don't get a lot of the genre that we have today. So, guys, thank you so much for watching my Poltergeist video. Let me know if there's a film or topic you'd like me to review. Do me a solid, like and subscribe for a guy trying to hit a goal. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ralph Vader. That's linked below. I got a podcast with my buddy, The Cutting Room Floor. I'll link that below for more movie content. I'll be back next week. And don't forget the popcorn.